Good morning, Instagram, and good morning, Facebook. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another live Mystic Fitness Flow. You guys know that every morning we're here at 9 a.m. and we're providing you guys with live classes, varying teachers. We have Mirari here today. She's going to be demonstrating for us at a horizontal position. Hi, Deb. Good to see you. So yeah, we are on Instagram or on Facebook. So whatever platform you like to use, please get comfortable. Set up your phone somewhere where you can see and hear. Make sure your volume's turned up all the way. Roll your mat out. Get a drink. We're gonna be rocking and rolling soon in some movement. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for your endless support. We really appreciate it. Without you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. I can honestly say that there's some mornings I wake up and I'm like, all right, let's do another virtual class. But always by the end of it, I am so happy and feel so much better physically, mentally, and emotionally. So I really appreciate you guys sticking with us through all of the chaos um, and having a little bit of stability in the world with these classes. So thank you guys for that. Additionally, we are set up on our Venmo account for donations. If you feel like you are in a financial situation where you can donate, we would really appreciate it, but it's in no way necessary to enjoy these classes. So if you go onto Venmo, look up Mystic Fitness, you'll find us there. And each donation is going to get a choice of either a handmade mask that you can wear going into the grocery stores. They're handmade by our very own Mary Beth. We are so grateful to have her part of our team here at Mystic. So those are handmade masks. They're fabulous. But you can also opt into getting some of our used materials here, like blocks, mats, straps, anything really. I mean, you name it, and we'll send it to you. So thank you guys so much. We're also selling some of our books as well. So that's a Bikram yoga book. We have what is it? Journey to Power Yoga. So if you guys want any of those materials, just reach out to us. We're happy to facilitate that for you. Also, we're on YouTube. So if you have family members that really do not like social media or can't get behind coming onto Instagram or Facebook, send them our YouTube channel. It's Mystic Fitness on YouTube. All of our stuff's downloaded onto there, and you guys can enjoy that at any time, and it's totally for free. You can give it a thumbs up, you can like, subscribe, that would be great. So enough of the jibber jabber. Let's get right into our class this morning. So find your way onto your mat, either seated or laying down in a child's pose, just anywhere where you can drop into your breath. And take your time, maybe find a little wiggle or waggle to really solidify yourself in a comfortable position. And then just let this wave of breath enhance your experience. Take a big inhale and exhale. Again, in through the nose and sigh it out. One more breath like that. In through the nose and sigh. And now as we breathe, let's try our best to breathe in and out through the nose. Feel free to take any audible exhale throughout your class when it's needed. And start to tune into the silence surrounding you. This silence where all sounds are held. It's always there in the background. Let your awareness open up from being very inward within the mind and expanding it outward into the physical room that you're in or area. And over the last couple months, I think it's been as tough as it's been on everybody, I think we've learned so much about ourselves and the way that we operate. And when this first happened, it was hard for me to stay inspired. But as time continued, I opened myself up to new types of inspiration. Having these online classes with you guys has kept me moving forward. Just taking this space to show eternal gratitude for the things in your life that have kept you inspired. All of those extra beautiful walks we were able to go on, or maybe those moments that we were able to spend with our family that if we were working, maybe we wouldn't be able to enjoy. Let's look at the blessings within this. Kind of reminds me of looking at dirt or soil. It's not the prettiest, right? It's brown and has bugs and it's dirty. But within it, so much potential for growth. It is the backbone of our earth. And in the same way, we can look at this experience we've all gone through and are continuing to go through and see the growth within that. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Slowly starting to reawaken, maybe rocking the head from side to side, or whatever position you're in, any movements that you can access here, maybe wiggling the toes and fingers or rocking the hips side to side. And over the next 2 or so breaths, picking yourself back up into your seat, taking your time to arrive. Taking the palms together and rubbing them a couple times, waking up the nerve endings of the hands, creating a little warmth. And then taking those warm hands and placing them over your chest, letting that energy that you just created within the palms radiate into your heart. Perhaps setting an intention for your class this morning. Maybe your intention is looking at this practice as if it is soil, seeing all of the nutrients and growth properties of your class. And we'll begin with the sound of Om, starting with a cleansing breath. Breathe in and sigh it out. And for Om, inhale. Have an inspired class, everyone. Let's go ahead and inhale, circle, sweep the arms up. And then with the exhale, just drop the arms into goalposts and start to rotate through the wrists. So these are very fundamental movements that we take at the beginning of our class, preparing our wrists for a little bit of weight bearing. So we want to make sure that upper body is adequately warmed up. We spend most of our days putting the weight into our lower body. In yoga, we kind of switch that up a little bit. Let's go ahead and shake those wrists. Bringing the fingertips onto your shoulders and then just kind of rolling your wings in opposite directions of each other or at the same time. And if you want, you can start to expand the fingertips off of the shoulders, making it a little bit more expansive, taking it in both directions. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and come up onto our knees. So stack the knees right below the hips and just kind of pick yourself up so that the chest is lifted. So we're kind of standing on our knees. From here, inhale, circle, sweep the arms, reach up. And with the exhale, dropping the right fingertips down, finding a side stretch on the left side body. Inhale, both arms pick up. Exhale, drop left fingertips down. 2 more on each side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, really grow long. Maybe your gaze follows the fingertips. Exhale, side bend. Here's our last full round into center. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, rise. And exhale, side bend. Inhale, coming all the way back to center. With the exhale, bringing the hands towards the heart. We're going to activate our thighs. So I'm actually going to turn to the side as well so you guys can see what we're going for here. So with the inhale, we're going to gently kind of press the hips forward and engage the glutes. And with the exhale, we're just going to sit like back, like we're kind of coming to an angle. Yeah, inhale, come back up. So it's very subtle. Exhale, slowly start to hinge backwards. But do you feel that tension starting to build in the thighs? Here's our last 2. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. Just for fun, let's go ahead and transition into our table pose. So stuff like that, where you're not really moving the body a whole lot, can actually be very profound because we're isolating certain muscles of the body. Let's find some cat and cows. Inhale, arch the spine, gaze forward, say good morning. And exhale, curl and round. As you really press the floor away, you can open that upper back. Inhale, open and rise through your chest. Exhale, curl and round. Keep these movements coming. So there's 6 movements of the spine. We have the arch and curl, which we're taking right now. We have 2 side bends, which we took on the knees. And then we have our 2 twisting sides. So that's 6 movements altogether, right and left. So now that we got some movement in our arches and curls, let's start to take some hip circles. So letting those hips drop towards the back and roll forward. Now you can find semicircles to start if you'd like, or maybe you find those full circles here. Again, you can get your neck a little bit involved here, kind of finding some fluid movements. And if the wrists are sensitive, you can always come down and drop onto the forearms. Even if the wrists aren't sensitive, maybe you just want to explore this. It's also a little bit of a stretch through the armpits. So this is your opportunity to be curious. Take it in the opposite direction whenever that calls to you. Beautiful. Coming back into your proper table pose. So now we need to get that other movement of the spine, those twists. Let's find some threaded needles here. We'll take it flowy to start and then hold it. So planting the left hand on the ground. Inhale, right fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, thread right fingertips across to the left. Inhale, reach it back up. Maybe the gaze follows your right fingertips for the entire journey. Exhale, thread. 2 more here. Inhale, rise. Exhale, thread. Last one. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, thread. We'll hold here for a moment. If you want to make this less intense, you start to drop those hips back into a child's pose. If you want to make this more intense, you keep those hips stacked right over knees. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's come out of it the same way. Inhale, right fingertips up to the sky. And exhale, hands plant. We'll take it to the other side. Plug that right hand into the ground. Inhale, left fingertips reach up. Exhale, thread. Again, inhale, big sweep, gaze follows. Exhale, thread. 2 more here. Let it be fluid like you're dancing. And with this last one, we're going to hold once you thread through. Again, those hips can be stacked above knees, or to make this a little less intense, you can sink those hips back, eliminating the weight of the body that's being pressed on the shoulder. To come out of it, plant that right hand back down. Inhale, left fingertips up. And exhale, land in your table pose. Take any little last movements here. Beautiful. Tucking the toes under and then lifting the knees to just a hover. So we're going to activate that core connection here. So we're engaging the pelvic floor muscles. Those are the muscles that control the flow of urine. So we want to make sure that everything is tight, but breath is normal for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the knees to the ground. Sink back into a child's pose. Take 2 breaths here, in and out. Relax the shoulders and neck. Relax the wrists. Beautiful. Take one last big clearing breath here, in and out. Returning back into your table pose. And we'll find that same core activation. That's going to lead us into our downward facing dog. So tuck the toes under. Lift the knees to just a hover. Feel that pulling inward while letting breath be natural, almost like you're bracing the stomach for impact. Last breath in. With the exhale, hips pull up and back, downward facing dog. Here's our opportunity to start to walk our dog, getting into the hamstrings, bending and extending through the knees. Making sure the fingers are actively pressing into the ground so that the shoulders can roll down and away from the ears. Sometimes I like to imagine a little turtle poking its head out of its shell here. As you pedal your feet, make sure your breath is coming in and out through the nose if possible. And if at any point you need to take that cleansing exhale, you go ahead and take it. Let's power up a little bit here, bringing some warmth into the body, bending the knees to a hover, finding a bent knee dog, hips pull up and back. With the exhale, we're going to use that momentum to press forward into your plank pose, but make sure those shoulders don't go past the wrists. Inhale, bent knee dog, bend the knees, hips pull up and back. Exhale, plank pose. 3 more. Inhale, pull it back, bent knee dog. Exhale, a strong and engaged plank. You can always take this with the knees on the ground as well. Inhale, back. Exhale, plank. Here's our last one. Inhale, press it back. Exhale, plank pose and hold here. So in our plank, this is a full body workout. By the end of this class, we're going to love our plank pose. Make sure there's a micro bend in the elbows. The heels are pressing back. Big breath in. With the exhale, drop those knees to the ground and let the chest lower with the elbows pointing back. This is our chaturanga. With the inhale, peel the chest up. Keep the chin gently tucked. Find that low cobra so the elbows are pulling in towards one another. And exhale, release. Making your way back to a table pose and then finding your downward facing dog. So that's the first version of our chaturanga flow. Let's go ahead and find the second version of our chaturanga flow. So inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, come into your plank pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale together. Choose if you want to keep those knees lifted. With the exhale, slowly lower halfway. Inhale, up dog, or you can find that low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here, in and out. Notice how warm the body is now. We're getting into our fiery part of our class. So I like to see it as the beginning is water. And now we're starting to enter the fire portion of our class. Let's inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward, prepare for flight. Exhale, walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Starting with a deep bend in the knees, let yourself hang for a moment so you can shake the head, yes and no. If you are feeling sensitive in the lower back, take the elbows on top of the thighs and use that as kind of a support here. This is actually a really lovely expression of a forward fold where you kind of rely on a little bit of tension of the elbows pressing on thighs to let that lower back be soft. When you're ready, you can go a little bit deeper if you choose, maybe coming into a ragdoll, grabbing onto opposite elbow. We'll just be here for 2 more breaths. It's always I always love holding a forward fold at the beginning of class for a couple breaths. Beautiful. Inhale, coming to a halfway lift. Plant the fingertips on your shins. Extend the crown long. Pull the belly in. Exhale, fold. Let's find one more halfway lift. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. This time, press into the feet. Inhale, roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Finishing it off with those arms reaching up. And exhale, hands to heart. Ground down here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's make sure those feet are hip distance apart here. And pick up the toes, flare them, and then press them back down. So that's the energy you want in the feet. The feet aren't just like bricks, right? We're placing them into the ground. Inhale, arms reach up. With the exhale, sit into your chair pose. So send those hips back, hands to heart. Inhale, rise. Press the pelvis forward. Engage and squeeze the glutes. Exhale, sit, chair pose. 3 more like this. Inhale, rise and grow. Squeeze the lower body. Exhale, sit. 2. Last one. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sit and hold. Now for a moment, bring those hands to the outsides of the knees. I want you to press the knees into the hands and hands press into the knees. So notice how that activates the outermost leg of your thighs. Once you have that activity, bring the hands back to heart. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Now send that left foot back. Find a crescent lunge. Pick yourself up a little bit. Rise the arms up overhead. We're going to find some dip twists here. So inhale, rise through the limbs. Exhale, dip and twist to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, dip, twist right. In and out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, rise to center. With the exhale, dial left heel down. Open it up, warrior 2 position. So in your warrior 2, take your time to arrive. You might even bend and extend the knees a couple times or readjust the foot placement. If you need a little guidance, you can take a look at Mirari here. She has a beautiful warrior 2 pose. She's making sure that that right knee doesn't go past the ankle, right? She doesn't want to put too much pressure on the front of the knee, so she's trying to make sure it's stacked or a little bit behind the ankle. That outer edge of the left foot is doing work here, right? It's not just placed there. We're really activating and finding this contrast of a little pressing forward and a little pressing back through the feet. Opening the arms up into a T. We're going to take some archer warriors here. So drop that left hand down, circle it up towards the right hand, and then with the exhale, pull that left arm back like you're pulling a bow. Inhale, drop left hand to right. Exhale, pull it back. Imagine there's a little bit of resistance here. Inhale, and exhale, pull. And of course, our arrows here, we're like little cupids. We're pulling back our arrows of hearts and letting that love fly. Last one. Returning back to your warrior 2, opening up the palms to the sky with the inhale. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Hold here for a moment. Imagine that that right shoulder is pulling down and away from your ear. Breathe in. With the exhale, cartwheel hands down, find your runner's lunge. Pausing for a moment in your runner's lunge to just take some back and forth presses through that right leg. You might consider dropping that left knee to the ground here, but we'll only be here for about 2 breaths. You can always have hands on the blocks here. Beautiful. Last round. Planting the hands back to the earth, sending right leg up and back, three-leg dog. Bend and open up your hip by letting that right heel drop over towards the left glute. Make sure the weight is being placed evenly in both hands. Beautiful. Inhale, kick the right leg up to the sky and either drop down into your downward facing dog or keep that right leg lifted. We're going to hinge forward into a plank pose. So we're either in a full plank or a three-legged plank. If you're in that three-legged plank, really squeeze the right glute, breathe it in. Exhale, chaturanga, slowly lower to your degree, and then the inhale is a chest opening through the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Beautiful. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, press and circle sweep. The arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Ground here. If you need a little drink, you can grab a sip before we continue. So we don't have the heat on at Mystic, but I will say with the weather kind of creeping up higher and higher, it's pretty much hot yoga. So if you're at your house, maybe you turn those ACs off and you have a little hot yoga for yourself as well. From here, inhale, arms circle, sweep up. And exhale, sit into your chair pose. So I want that same energy of the outer thighs pressing away, inner thighs pulling in. So a lot of yoga is finding these contrasts of one body part moving in one direction and the other body part moving in the other direction. Hold for 5, 4, 3, thighs are burning, 2, 1, step that right foot back, find your crescent lunge, reach up with the arms. Setting up in your crescent lunge, making sure those feet are hip distance apart. We'll find those dip twists. Inhale, rise. Exhale, dip and twist to the left. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, dip and twist. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, rise to center. Exhale, dial right heel down. Open that up, warrior 2. This time the left toes are turned to face the front of the mat, and the back edge of the right foot is towards the back of your mat. Now take your time to set this up. Know that your feet aren't in cement. You can always readjust the feet here. And find that contrast of the left foot pressing forward and back foot pressing back. Finding those archer warriors, so dropping the right hand down through the front, meeting it with left hand, and then pulling back like you're about to shoot that bow of love. Inhale, drop and meet that left hand. Exhale, pull it back. 3 more here. In and out. 2 and 1. Holding in your warrior 2 pose, flipping the palms up to the sky. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Hold for the exhale. Relax the left shoulder down and away from the ears. Breathe in. And with the exhale, cartwheeling hands down to your runner's lunge. Pausing here for a moment and taking some back and forth presses, bending and extending through the left leg. You can always drop that knee to the ground, but we'll only be here for 2 more. Beautiful. Planting the hands back on the earth, sending left leg up and back, 3-leg dog. Bending the knee and opening up the hip by dialing that left heel over towards the right side of the room. Try to keep that left knee pointed up to the sky. Both hands are pressing equally into the earth. Inhale, extend left leg back up to the sky and either drop it into your downward facing dog or keep it lifted as we roll forward to our plank pose for a 3-legged plank or full plank. Keep that left leg squeezed and engaged. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal your feet here. Breathe in and out. Take a cleansing breath if you need. Wonderful. Right leg reaches up to the sky. With the exhale, bring the right knee over towards left elbow and then kick that right leg through, reaching left fingertips up to the sky for a funky side plank. Press those hips up. Inhale. With the exhale, stay with me. Drop that left hand to the ground and take right foot towards right hand, runner's lunge. From your runner's lunge, let's lift that chest and pull the arms back for an airplane lunge. So we want the palms facing down to externally rotate the shoulders. Press into that right foot. From here, starting to pick the left toes up off the ground, so sending your chest forward a little bit, finding a airplane warrior 3 variation. Flex that left foot, keep it engaged. Here's your inhale. With the exhale, bring the hands to heart and pull the left knee in towards the chest. Wonderful. Give yourself a squeeze. Interlace the hands on left shin and just rotate at that ankle. Now from here, we're going to come into those water dancer poses. So if you've never done it before, you can take a look in the monitor. They look a little something like this. Keep that left foot where it is, or the left leg where it is. Bring the hands to heart. Inhale. With the exhale, we're taking that 90-degree angle of a left leg and sending it back and taking the arms alongside body with the palms facing the front of the room. Pull that chest forward. Inhale, knee and hands come back to center. Exhale, water dancer pose. Squeeze through the glutes, open up your heart. Inhale to center. So it's almost like we're going into a full dancer, but we're kind of stopping halfway. Open it up. Beautiful. Last one here. Inhale and exhale. Water dancer. Hold for 5. Squeeze that left glute. Flex the foot. 3, 2, 1. Land left foot back to meet right. Shake it out. Shake out the wrists and hands and legs. Then we're going to take a full dancer with that left leg. So we'll start by taking a nice full body stretch. Inhale, arms reach up. And actually, let's take a little forward fold here by just bending the knees and hinging from the hips. Take a moment here, shake the head, yes and no. Just kind of recalibrating, giving yourself a chance to kind of find a little snack break almost. Inhale to a halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Arms reach up. And then keeping the right hand where it is, let that left arm open up to the left. So we're preparing for our dancer pose by bending the left leg and grabbing with an inside grip. So grabbing the inside of the ankle. Now, if that doesn't feel great for the rotation of your shoulder, you can grab the outside of your ankle, whatever feels best for you here. With the inhale, lengthen the right fingertips to the sky. And with the exhale, kick into the hand and charge forward with the chest and upper body. So we're providing ourselves with enough kicking into the hand and hand pulling the foot back so that we can stay nice and balanced here. Let that chest drop a little bit more so it's parallel to the floor. Breathe in, breathe out. Slowly and with control, bring the hands to heart. Kick that left foot back. And with the exhale, we're going to land in a pyramid pose. So in your pyramid pose, it's almost like a lunge, but both heels are on the ground. Feet are hip distance apart. Keeping your hands on your hips, inhale, open it up. And with the exhale, hinge forward. Find your pyramid pose. Hands can come to blocks or mat. You can bend and extend through those knees a couple times. Just take a nice couple deep breaths here. You can either have a nice flat back here, or maybe you want to round and start to bring the forehead towards the right knee. Whatever variation feels best for you here. So in your pyramid pose, there's several variations. Different schools of yoga take it differently. So whatever you resonate with most is perfect. We're going to start to walk the hands over towards the left side of our mat and open up our stance to come into a wide-legged forward fold. A little funky transition, but we'll get there. In your wide leg forward fold, allow your head to be heavy. Maybe you rock the hips from side to side a little bit, or just hold static. We'll be here for 2 more. Propping yourself up into a halfway lift. Walking the feet a little bit closer to one another so that you can bend the knees and slowly rise back to standing. Turning the heels in, toes out, finding your goddess pose. Take a moment to just kind of bend and extend into this. So you'll notice the deeper you go, the more pressure starts to build through the hip flexors. And you want to find that happy spot right in the middle where you can engage the heels into the ground, keep those thighs tight, but allow the hip flexors to feel safe here. Bringing your hands to heart, breathe in, breathe out. Taking the hands behind the head and interlacing them there with the elbows splaying out. We're going to drop the left elbow down towards the left by a couple inches and center, and right elbow down a couple inches and center. I want you to really squeeze through your abdominals. Let this motion be small, but be profound. So we're really getting into the obliques here. Taking one more on each side. And left. Beautiful. Inhale, rise all the way. Exhale, turn into your warrior 2 on the right side. So bend the right knee, take the toes forward, open your arms. Inhale, reverse your warrior, and exhale, cartwheel, hands down, runner's lunge. Right foot steps back to meet left, or maybe you keep it lifted in that 3-legged plank. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you need to drop the knees to the ground and find a quick drink or take a break, you can. We just got to do that on the other side, and then we're ready for some deep stretches. We'll all meet in our downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, left leg reaches up to the sky. Exhale, pull the left knee towards right elbow, and then kick that left leg through. Reach the right fingertips up to the sky. This little funky side plank. Press those hips up, breathe in. Now with the exhale, stay with me. Bring the right hand back down, pick left knee, and place left foot towards left hand. Find the stability in your runner's lunge. Plant that left foot into the ground, and then find an airplane lunge. So pull the chest forward, arms pull back, palms face down. Breathe in, breathe out. Finding an airplane hover warrior 3 variation by picking the right toes up off the ground, keeping that heel flexed. Here's your inhale. With the exhale, pulling the knee in towards the chest, hands to heart, interlacing hands on the right thigh, and pulling the shape into the chest. Perhaps rotating right ankle. Beautiful. Now we're going to find those water dancer poses. So bring your hands to heart. Keep that right knee lifted. Here's your inhale. With the exhale, send that bent right knee behind you like you're trying to kick your bum, and open your hands towards the front alongside body. Inhale, rise. Exhale, water dancer. 5. 4, really squeeze the right glute. 3, 2, 1. Hold in that water dancer pose. Keep that 90-degree angle in the right knee. Flex right foot. Peel that chest open. And exhale, drop down into your mountain pose. Shake it off a little bit. We'll wash this away with a nice forward fold. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Stay here for a moment. Enjoying some nice, deep, soothing breaths. Letting the nervous system be held. Inhale to a halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Arms reach up overhead. And then keeping that left arm where it is, open right arm out to the right. We're going to find our dancer pose by bending right knee, grabbing the ankle from the inside. But if that doesn't feel great on right shoulder, you can grab from the inside. Inhale to lengthen and reach up. Exhale, hinge forward, kick that right hand into kick the right foot into right hand rather. So that kicking and pulling has to be equally met for this posture to work. Keep that chest dropped, parallel to the ground, but open your collarbones up to the sky. Beautiful. Kick that right leg behind you, hands to heart, and then drop into your pyramid pose. Beautiful. So we're in that lunge-like position, except this time both heels are on the ground. We have a micro bend in the knees. Bring your hands to the hips. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hinge forward, eventually letting your hands drop to mat or block. Now from here, we talked about all the different ways that you can take this, whatever school of yoga you resonate with. The most important part of this pose is that right hip is kind of pressing forward and left hip is pulling back, so the hips are nice and even here. Let the head be heavy. Try not to tense up through the neck or muscles of the face, maybe even opening and closing your jaw a couple times. Walking the fingertips over towards the right side of your mat, opening up your stance to a wide-legged forward fold. We'll take 5 breaths here, so it's yogi's choice. Take whatever movements you like here, headstands, whatever. Twisting. Holding in a static position, maybe rocking a little bit of the weight into the heels, so that the hips stack right below shoulder or above shoulders. Slowly releasing your grip or taking whatever movements and finishing them off. Bringing yourself into a halfway lift. Toe heeling the feet a little bit closer together just so you can bend the knees, bring the hands to your hips, and slowly lift up. Let's come back into our goddess pose by bringing the heels in, toes out. We're just simply going to hold this pose for 10 breaths. So find a position where you can hold it. Try to keep that pelvis tucked right below shoulders rather than letting that arch of the spine happen. Bring your hands wherever serves you. Here's the start. 10, 9, press into those heels. 7, 6, 5, stay with the challenge. You're worth it. Here's 3, 2, 1. Inhale, rise, arms reach up. And exhale, turn the right toes in, finding a warrior 2 as you bend through the left knee. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, cartwheel, hands down, runner's lunge. As the hand plants, left foot steps back to meet right, or keep that foot lifted. 3-legged plank, breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. And with the exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to come right into our pigeon now, so let's inhale, sweep that right leg up to the sky. Exhale, pull right knee towards right wrist. and then sitting yourself down in your pigeon pose. If you prefer to take this in a reclined position, please know that that is welcome here. A couple modifications might be taking a block underneath right hip or opening left knee out to the left. Now, when we're in this pose, we really need this very important cue to be met. So the right thigh is parallel to the long edge of the mat. We don't want to have that right knee way out to the right. We want everything nice and parallel to the long edge of your mat. From here, you might choose to keep that chest lifted, or perhaps rolling yourself forward and just landing here. Now we're going to be here for about 5 breaths. So take any kind of movements or wiggles that you need. Each exhale is an opportunity to really relax and indulge in this pose. Let's try to eliminate any stress from the shoulders, neck, hips. Make sure your face is relaxed here, no tensing of the muscles. Notice how the heart is still beating, breath is still moving. Starting to come out of this the same way we got into it, propping yourself up, bringing your hands to the earth, tucking left toes under and extending back to a downward facing dog. Take any little wiggles that happen naturally here. And we'll prepare for it on the other side. So eventually left leg reaches up nice and long with the inhale. And exhale, pull that left knee towards left wrist, sitting yourself down. And then just a reminder, you can take a block underneath left hip, and you can always take a reclining pigeon as well. You want that left thigh to be parallel to the long edge of the mat. Very important for this pose. The shin and calf can land wherever feels comfortable, but that thigh really only has one safe spot to be. Inhale, maybe you prop your chest up and stay here as long as you'd like. Eventually, you might hinge forward with an exhale. I like to bring a block underneath my head so I can truly relax through my shoulders and neck while also keeping a clear audio for you guys. Relax. Use each breath as a tool for relaxation. Three more breaths here. Beautiful. Slowly starting to pick yourself up. And to round this all out, we'll bring our hands to the ground, tuck right toes under, hips pull up and back, downward facing dog. Dropping the knees to the ground, finding any little movements in your table pose before entering our final, not our final resting posture, but we're going to go ahead and lay down onto our back. So take your time to arrive. Either finding a nice full body stretch to start, and then perhaps pulling the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a squeeze, rocking a little side to side. And I'd like to take one core exercise while we're down on our backs. We're going to find a bicycle. So I want to start this bicycle by just setting up through the legs. So bring the hands behind the head to start. Stack the knees right above the hips in a 90 degree. And then extend the left leg long. And then bring it back. Right leg long. And bring it back. So we want to make sure that that knee does not go past the hip. We want to keep it stacked right on top of the hip as it enters back. If and when you feel ready, you can start to bring the elbows into the mix. So as you extend right leg long, you pull right elbow up over left knee, and center, and opposite, and center. Keep going for 30 seconds here. going as fast or as slow as you like. This is your bicycle ride. No one else can determine it. Try to keep that chest lifted. Relax the neck by keeping your gaze up towards the ceiling. We're halfway through. Let's keep it going. Come on, you guys got this. This is so worth it. You are so worth it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull the knees in towards the chest. Relax back down. Dropping the soles of the feet to the earth, opening the arms up into a T. Pick the hips up and drop the hips over towards the right as you drop knees over towards the left for your reclining twist. In your reclining twist, you might choose to take that left ankle on top of right thigh for a little bit added twist. And it's almost like a side opener here as well, kind of getting some opening through the right hip. 3 breaths. If you have that left ankle stacked, go ahead and bring it back to the earth. Knees and hips come back to center. Inhale, lift the hips up, drop them over towards the left, and drop the knees over towards the right. If you like, you might choose to take that right ankle and stack it over left thigh. This is in no way necessary for the benefits of this posture to be experienced, but for some of us it might enhance those benefits. 3 breaths. If the ankle is stacked, go ahead and bring it back to the earth. Knees come back to center. Let's bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees flop out in a reclining bound angle. If this is a little too intense, consider taking a couple cushions or blocks underneath the knees. I like to find a little bit of a spinal traction here that I learned in Erin Petal's class. I take my hands to the crease of my hips and thighs, and then I kind of press down as I lengthen my chest and head up to the sky. So I'm pressing my lower body down to the bottom of my mat and reaching my crown up to the top of my mat. Very subtle, but it can really create a little bit of space within the vertebra of the lower back. Beautiful. Taking any last movements before coming into your final resting pose. If you need to grab a drink of water or find any props to utilize so that this resting pose is comfortable for you. Once you've made it, just let a big wave of breath come over you. Enjoy the sensation. Allow your eyes to close. Feel heavy. And this human body is a part of Mother Nature. And the molecules that make us up are recycled. Recycled materials from the cosmos and from this physical earth that we walk upon. It's the way that I survive. I am the seaside. I'm the waves. I'm the one that makes you crave. I am the spirit. I'm the source. I'm the roots. I am the dust. I am the road, long and hard, running out of my heart. Mirror, mirror, tell the truth of the old ones and the youth. All the things we're hiding from ourselves. Mirror, mirror, show me now. What will I become and how? For now I'm just the mountain. I am the mountain. Oh. Realize the beautiful piece of nature that you are. The big, strong mountain within you. The ever-changing seaside. Deep, luscious valley. Breathe in and out. As you continue to expand your breath, slowly start to return back to center. Taking the next couple breaths to maybe give yourself a squeeze of the knees in towards the chest. Perhaps rocking side to side and even coming into a fetal position. And pressing yourself back up into your final seated position. Bringing your hands back over heart. Connecting back to the intention that you set. Choosing to hold it close for the remaining hours of your day, or offering it back up to the collective. And we'll close our practice in with the virtual sound of Om. Let's take it in and let it go. And for Om, in. Thank you all so much for joining me and Mirari this morning. We really enjoy seeing you guys comment and say good morning to us. I hope you guys tune in tomorrow for another live 9 a.m. class I'll be teaching. So if you have any recommendations or suggestions, go ahead and reach out. Let us know. All right. Namaste, you guys.